crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around, Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heffa, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away.
Hey, 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 true crime friends. How are you? Welcome to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. And listen, ladies, I've seen your comments. We are going to keep our pearls on. We are going to keep our pinkies out. We are not going to ask to be sister wives or invite Miss or Lieutenant Hermosillo to be brother husbands with our husbands. We have manners. Oh, by the way, he's here and he can hear us. Hey, Ray, welcome to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo.
Thank you, Kathy. How are you? Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
55 looks good on you.
Thank you so much. So cute, so young, so demure. I was shocked to get a message from you because honestly, in my mind, you weren't hearing what I was saying. I was just over here in North Jersey minding my business. How did you find out about this ridiculousness that I call a YouTube channel?
I don't know how I came across your channel. I don't know if it was my wife or somebody pointed me towards your channel, but I watched your videos and I loved them. You're hilarious. You bring light to this subject. And I was working out the other day and I was watching your video on Lori requesting a new trial. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to reach out to her and say something. So that's when I emailed you. But I'm glad you responded. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny? Like I was telling you before, like in my mind, it's just me talking in my dining room and nobody is hearing it. So when people who are actually associated with these cases reach out, I'm like, oh, wait. Oh my God, it's not just me. And then all the true crime friends show up and they're just like, wait a minute. He's coming to your channel? That's crazy. Has he seen the videos? Like Ixnay on the Zaddy Addyzay. Like,
I love it. No, I love it. Don't stop.
okay, so we can officially call you Zaddy Ray or Zaddy Hermosillo. What do you prefer?
Whatever you prefer.
Okay, so your pronouns are Zaddy. Okay,
Perfect.
okay, got it. But also, ladies, don't make me pour a bucket of water on you. Zaddy is married to a very, very beautiful lady, and something tells me we don't want to make her mad because she does not have time for our mess. I'm just telling you right now. But I'm here. I was watching some of your other interviews, and it occurred to me no one had asked you the most important questions from the trial. Number one, do you have a dry cleaners? Do you own a dry cleaning business?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up. Okay, so in my trial, I think it was Chad's trial, I
Yes.
talked about going to our dry cleaners, right?
Yes.
But by that, I meant our department dry cleaners. So we take our uniforms, our suits, our shirts, pants to a specific dry cleaner. So no, my family does not have a dry cleaner. There's no discount codes. If there was, I would give you a discount code.
I would fly to Rexburg to use it.
But that's what it was. It came across like my family had a dry cleaner, but we don't.
Yes. I was like, oh, look at Zaddy with a side hustle. Okay, I am not mad at it at all. But okay, everybody, there is no Hermosillo's dry cleaner. We can stop Googling. Okay, that is good to know. Look, I'm here with the hard-hitting journalism. I'm telling you right now. Are there any other rumors you'd like to clear up?
I don't think so. I don't know all the rumors out there.
Okay,
maybe that's the only one.
Okay, yeah. For the record, go ahead.
I'm 6'4". I don't know if everybody knew that. I'm kidding. I wish I was.
You are not 6'4".
I'm
you
5'8".
think we haven't researched?
Yeah, I'm short.
But you're thick, like strong, muscular.
Yeah, thick.
Okay, so what is your workout routine? Another pressing question that no previous journalist has thought to ask you.
That's a good question. So I lift 6 days a week. I do each muscle group twice a week. So I'll do chest Monday and Thursday, biceps and triceps Tuesday and Friday, and then back and shoulders Wednesday and Saturday. Occasionally I'll do legs, but I hate doing legs.
Why?
I don't see any progress with it. I don't
You're
see
doing fine.
anything. Thank you.
I promise you. You're doing just fine.
Thank you.
Okay. How has your family reacted to all your newfound fame? Are they freaking out?
They're keeping me humble. My kids keep me humble. My wife keeps me humble. It's like, you may be something out there on the internet, but you ain't a damn thing in here. You're just Ray in here. So yeah, they keep me humble. It's awesome though. I love the support. I love everybody that's followed the case. So I can't be more thankful for everybody that's giving me the support and all the law enforcement that was involved.
Yeah, it's funny. There's so many cases out there, this Karen Reed case out in Boston or whatever, where people are looking at the cops and they're like, these cops are terrible, or they didn't investigate properly or whatever. And I think it's so heartwarming. And it means a lot to me personally to see a good cop who's out here just doing his job, serving the community, helping others. How did you first hear about this whole case? What was your in to the whole Lori Vallow madness?
So I actually received the very first phone call that had to do with this entire case in Idaho. And that was from Fremont County. And it was on November 1st, 2019 at about 10 a.m. And ever since then, I went back to the police department. I called Gilbert Police Department. I got the lowdown. We went and did surveillance, found the Jeep Monday morning. And ever since November 4th, it has kicked off, and I've been there every day, every step since.
It's so crazy. So this was originally it was a welfare check. I mean, I guess it was a missing person case.
Originally, it was just, we were there to assist Gilbert with finding the Jeep that was involved in Brandon Boudreaux's attempted homicide.
So it started with Brandon. It wasn't the kids first. It was Brandon first.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And then it ended up becoming the kids.
Okay. So at some point you met, I believe it was Chad and Alex, Lori's husband and brother, standing in the garage or something. Yeah. First impressions?
First impression was they were both petrified because they weren't expecting us. Second impression, Alex is a dangerous dude. So he gave me the creeps right away. I mean, my gut told me to stay away from him. I also knew what he was capable of.
Right.
Chad is just a blob. Like, there's nothing to him. You know what I mean? Like, his intimidation factor is zero. But
I refer to him as a marshmallow. He reminded me of a marshmallow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just soft all over.
Yeah, that's so crazy. So who do you think was sort of the mastermind of all of this whole madness?
I think it was 50-50. I think Chad's ideas probably came from Chad. Lori implemented them, but they both manipulated each other. She manipulated him with sex. He manipulated her with this religious, you're a goddess, and fed into her narcissistic beliefs. And it was like gasoline in a match. Like, it was just, from when they met, it was just on. Yeah.
I get that. And that sort of makes sense. And have you ever, I know you had at least that one conversation with them in the garage. Did you ever meet up with them or have any conversations with them afterwards, or did they disappear?
No. So after I met up in the garage, about 10 minutes later, I saw Chad driving down the alleyway, and he was driving towards me. And so I stopped him. He got out of his car. That's when I asked him for Lori's phone number, and he said he didn't have it. And then he ended up giving it to me. And, the whole story about he only knew Lori through Alex, but I knew they were married. Just that BS. But that's the only time really that I had contact with Alex and Chad. We had contact with Chad in Hawaii a few times that I was over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you got to go to Hawaii?
I got to go to Hawaii. We were doing
That's a perk.
surveillance in a convertible, drinking Rockstar, enjoying the sunshine. It was I can think of a lot worse places to do surveillance.
Yeah, you're like, next time could somebody escape to Tahiti? That'd be lovely.
Seriously. Yep.
That's
I felt like
wild.
you remember oh, what's that show with Tom Selleck back in the 80s?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I know Magnum PI.
Magnum PI. That's
Yes,
what I felt like.
yes.
I'm like, man, this is awesome.
You're like, I've chose the wrong police force. So
Exactly.
you go to Hawaii. When you were doing surveillance, you were still at that point you were looking for the kids, or is that when you were trying to hunt down Chad and Lori?
So we were hunting down Chad and Lori. We knew where they were at, but we were
Okay.
serving her with that court order to produce her
Oh,
children
right.
in Rexburg within 5 days. So that's what we were doing there the first time. The second time
Okay.
we were there to arrest her.
Oh, you went twice?
Mhm.
Very nice.
It was
So I thought you were the person who served her. Like the person is not seen on video who serves her the papers. Were you there to serve her? Like you
No,
personally
I
served her?
personally didn't serve her. It was Kauai Police Department because it's their
Okay.
jurisdiction. So we were kind
Okay.
of in the background, just assisting with surveillance and kind of watching the whole thing.
So in following this case, at one point, I believe I heard a videotape where Chad had declared that you were dark. Um, First of all, did you know about that in real time? And second, what did you think when you heard that?
Well, I'll be honest. Originally, when we heard it, it was over the wire that Ian was wearing. And so
Okay.
it's kind of weird to hear your name being brought up on a wire when these guys are talking about you. We didn't know a lot about them. We just knew that they were
Right.
capable of murder, obviously, and attempted
Crazy.
murder. And so originally, I'm like, man, I'm going to have to go tell my wife we need to take a different route home. We need to
Right.
circle the block. And so that was a little stressful while Alex was in the wind. And
Mhm.
then once he passed, I mean, I knew Chad wasn't capable of anything violent.
So there's a lot of speculation around Alex's passing. And I've heard a couple different stories. I've heard that he got a phone call from Chad saying, like, oh, you'll know when to cross over. I had heard that he brought back pills or medication from Mexico and he was told to take it. But then I thought I heard you say that based on his Google searches or something like that, that he was ill or that he may have had COVID or something else was going on. What do you think what are your theories on his passing?
So this is pure speculative, right? This is just a theory of mine.
Please speculate away.
He did Google, how come I'm short of breath? I don't have energy. So he's Googling these symptoms. Now,
Right.
Chad and Lori are in Hawaii at this time. Okay.
Mhm.
He had just married Zulema. And so they're newlyweds. They're happy. I don't believe Zulema poisoned him. There was no way that Alex and Chad could have done it because they weren't even in the United States, or they weren't even in this side of the
The
states. They were in
continental
Hawaii.
US, yeah.
Yeah. I think my own theory is he was probably one of the first victims of COVID. He was a truck driver. He sat a lot. He had the blood clots, the pulmonary embolism, and COVID was just starting then.
Right,
So where
right.
he was traveling all the time, I think maybe he was one of the first victims, and they would have never thought to test that. I will say
Right.
this: we tested, or Arizona tested their medical examiners. We knew the situation. They tested everything, every panel, the extensive panel. They went through everything, and there was nothing there. So we were aware.
Oh,
We were aware of all that stuff, and we had
right.
everything tested. There was nothing.
That's so interesting. When I heard you say that someplace else, it was the first time I had heard it and I was struck by it, especially given the timing. It's, late 2019, I guess, when he passed away, early 2020, something like that.
December
Um,
12th, 2019.
okay. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. That would have been the time that would make sense. Wait, here's a question somebody. Erica S is asking, Ray, when did you find out about Charles then? Was it only Brandon you were aware of at first to form an opinion of Alex?
No, so I knew of Brandon and Charles in the afternoon of November 1st.
Oh, Charles was in Chandler, Arizona, right?
Right. Yep.
And Alex was shot at in Arizona. You were up in Rexburg.
Correct. Yeah. Alex shot at Brandon in Gilbert. Charles was murdered in Chandler, and I was in
Okay.
Rexburg, but we had all communicated that day.
Okay. And is it usual that you would work that closely I mean, I guess if you're looking for a car and you think the people have fled, like, is it usual for you to have that kind of close communication with another police agency?
Yeah, especially if we're looking for a vehicle that was involved in an attempted homicide in their jurisdiction. We have to
Right.
be in close communication so we know what happened. We know where to send the Jeep. I know who to get a hold of when I do find the Jeep. There's warrants involved. So yeah, it's normal that way.
Like, there's a million questions running through my mind. And folks, I know some of you have questions. Wait, if you put a bunch of cues in front of the questions, then I'm likely to catch it. Otherwise, I might miss it. Okay, so Jack Black is asking, my question is this: if you had your way, who else would you indict for the crimes committed by Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, murder spree?
There's one person, but I will keep that quiet.
Understood.
But there is one person that I would like to see indicted.
There had to have been a whole group of people, right? Because there's what's the friend, Melanie? I forget her name. Not Boudreaux, there's another one. Um
Of
wait,
Melanie Gibb.
yes, Melanie Gibb. There was like all that group of friends that would get together and pray and cast out spirits and stuff like that. Something tells me there's something hinky with that whole group.
You know, they're originally, look, we went after everybody that we had evidence on, and we didn't stop with
Gotcha.
Chad and Lori. We looked at the entire group, and in order for us to prove certain things, we didn't have that. I don't think Gibb, my personal opinion, I don't think Gibb or Zulema were physically involved with any murders. I
Yeah.
think one person that had knowledge. I'll keep that to myself, but
Mm-hmm.
you guys can kind of guess on who that would be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the one person I like to see indicted.
It's kind of wild. So my understanding of sort of the community of Rexburg is that there's a heavy concentration of LDS folks there. And I personally have categorized them, although I don't know if you're aware of my categorizations. So there's regular funeral potato Mormons that are just like your regular friends and neighbors. Then there's the better than you Mormons who do like all the extra studying. But there's a better than you everything, right? There's a better than you PTA mom. There's probably a better than you cop, whatever. And then there's the zombie Mormons where they're like, Jesus said it was okay if I just did all these terrible things. I wonder, do you run into any, I mean, maybe they're hiding in plain sight, but do you run into these like hyper religious people there in the local community, or would you be able to pick them out?
No, I mean, you get some hyper religious people, of course, because of the LDS community that is in Rexburg. As far as the extent of being hyper religious to Chad's extent and Lori's extent, there probably is some. But when this case kicked off, they kind of went back under the rocks and kind of was hiding because they didn't want anything to do with it. But I'm sure there is some of that still going on. Most of the people here are normal, normal people that have that
Right.
LDS belief. I'm not LDS, so I don't believe the things they do, but they're
Right.
super nice people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, most of the LDS people that I've met have been just like salt of the earth, so kind, so lovely. And then when I started hearing about this group, I was like, what the what? Like, it just sounded so crazy to me. But I guess if you want to do terrible things, you could come up with any justification for it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So because it's a relatively small community, had you heard the name Daybell? Like, did you know of Chad Daybell or any of his relatives prior to any of this happening?
I had never heard of Chad Daybell or any Daybells for that matter up until this case.
Wow.
Because they really weren't here. I mean, I think they moved here maybe 3 or 4 years before this case kicked off. They weren't here very long.
Right. I
And they
remember
live in
that.
Fremont County, actually, so it's not Rexburg. So it's a different county. But I had never heard of anybody named Chad Daybell or Emma Daybell or any of those freaking. Don't even get me started.
Well, my next question is, what are your thoughts on the Daybell children realizing that they are free and not in prison and could get snippets of this interview? I'm curious about your thoughts.
I've had my thoughts. I'll probably keep those to myself. But
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think they're also victims of Chads from
100%.
from when they're very little. So, I get frustrated. I got frustrated when we weren't getting any cooperation from them. But I have to remember that they're hanging on dad's every word. And I guess I can see that. You don't want to believe your dad's a murderer and an evil person. So you kind of hang on what he says. I can see that part. But at some point they've got to realize who their dad actually is. And I'll keep my thoughts on that to myself just because I don't want to badmouth anybody. That's not
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. After Tammy passed away, did they continue to live in that house? Or I guess the question here is, Polly Cracker wants to know, did Chad's son living at home likely know more about Tammy's death? That's a good question.
I don't know which son he's referring to.
There was one, I forget
There's
his
a few
name.
sons that live there. There's a few sons that live there. Probably Garth is who he's referring to.
Yes, Garth.
My honest opinion, I think Garth knew more than what he said. I'll be quite honest.
I agree.
But there wasn't enough, and we really weren't going after. He wasn't the goal of this whole thing. But I do think that Garth knew more than what he testified to, what he talked about.
Have these folks been able to go back to regular lives? Like, I mean, the Daybell name obviously is sort of known around that area now. How could it not be, right? Given everything that's happened. But in terms of like Tammy's kids, I'm not even going to think about Chad, but in terms of Tammy's children, right? Have they been able to go back to whatever, some sort of semblance of normalcy, or do you know?
I don't know. I haven't seen them in, it's probably been a year or so, or maybe actually more than that, maybe a year and a half. So I don't know what they're doing now. I knew Emma was a teacher.
Yes.
Garth was a teacher at the junior high. And I think, as far as I know, I think he still is teaching at the junior high, but I don't know about all the other children.
I wouldn't want him teaching my kids, but that's just me. I'm picky like that.
No,
Yikes.
I completely get it.
Emma had talked about running into, or was it Garth? What? I think it was Emma talked about running into you at the gym. Do you recall seeing her at the gym?
I do. And, it's so frustrating because nothing that she really said was accurate at all. I saw her at the gym. I went about my business. I wasn't lifting baby weights next to her. Like she said I was. I wasn't stalking her or driving by the house. Like, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I saw her one time at the gym and I knew who she was. I never said a word to her. So, she can say whatever.
Her credibility is right around zero, I would imagine.
I would hope so.
Yeah, like, yikes, girl. I wonder if she thinks people are like, oh, yeah, that sounds perfectly reasonable. I was shocked at the way in which, in my opinion, she kind of threw her mom overboard for Lori. She's like, oh, well, my mother was sickly and my mother was this and my mother. As a mom, I was just like, oh, clutching my pearls. The way I would haunt that heifer. Oh, my goodness. She would never have. She was like, she would be like, why does my Alexa keep going off? How come these lights keep flashing? There's creaking up, the doors are creaking upstairs. I would haunt her forever.
Seriously, it was so disgusting to hear that she threw her mom under the bus. I feel bad for Tammy. But yeah, to have your own kids say that kind of stuff about you, like,
terrible.
It is terrible. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
And uncalled for, really, really uncalled for. When this whole case first came to light, right? I mean, I am a cynic. I'm a nice lady originally from Indiana who lives in North Jersey, but at the end of the day, I am the biggest cynic in the world. So immediately when I heard this story, I was like, oh, them kids are dead. Did you, when you first heard about this, what were you thinking? Were you thinking like, I'm just looking for a van, or did you think there was something more going on?
No, I thought initially, like always want to hold on to hope. And
Sure.
initially, we were just looking for two missing kids, JJ and Tylee. It wasn't
Mhm.
until Lori was served with her court order and she didn't produce the children and she was arrested because of it, and she was
Right.
serving time in jail. I thought there's no way she's going to serve time in jail if she can produce the kids. And when she
Right.
served the time and refused, I thought, okay, well, this is going to be probably more of a recovery mission than a rescue mission. And the kids
Yeah.
are probably gone at that point.
Oh, so awful.
So
How do you deal with that and then just like go home and have dinner at night with like your wife and kids and whatever else? How do you cope? How do you separate?
super good question. It was super hard at first. I struggled. I struggled
Yeah,
separating the case with family life because I was
sure.
so consumed and emotionally invested in finding JJ and Tylee. I would come home, I would veg out on the recliner, I'd pour my drink of whiskey and
Hmm.
kind of kind of zone out. And I found out that wasn't acceptable. You know, I still
Right.
have a wife and I had children at home, and so it wasn't fair to them. So I tried to balance it the best I could. You know, I went to therapy or counseling for a little bit to,
Good.
to
Good.
get me to, you know, try to get these coping mechanisms and help me start to process it. The
Hmm.
hard thing was when you start to process it and try to get over it, it comes back up in trial, right?
Hmm.
And then you have to prepare and it comes back up in trial. And then you
Right.
prepare some more and it comes back. So really, you really couldn't get over it until everything was done. So
Hmm.
I've had a good support system at home with my wife, my gorgeous wife. She's been awesome. My kids have been
Hmm.
awesome. The guys I work with, my team, have been fantastic. We bounce things off each other. Somebody's having a
So
rough
cool.
day. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better support system.
You know what's funny? You mentioned the guys at work. In my mind, you are the police force. Like, I'm not seeing the rest of them. So I'm like, right, I know Rexburg, Idaho, Iowa. It's right over there. And Ray is the police force. I guess there's more than just you.
Yeah, you know what? I know I'm kind of the face of this thing, and I've said it before.
Yeah.
There's so many guys and girls that helped and were in the backyard that day that went through the same trauma.
Mm-hmm.
FBI analysts that were just typing behind computers. Like they're all the unsung heroes. And I want to give my props
Sure.
to them too, because they were part of it and just as much as I was. So yeah, I want to make sure they're remembered as well.
It's so important. It's so
Yeah,
because it's
for sure.
not in my mind, it's just you. How do you think it is that you became the face of this whole trial or this whole sort of case?
You know, I think just because I was maybe the lead investigator on it. I mean, it was
Uh,
between me and my lieutenant Ron Ball at the time.
yes.
We kind of both led the whole thing, but my testimony in the preliminary trial with Chad, and then my testimony and just me being involved in everything that went on, I
Mhm.
kind of took that role and testified to a lot of things that we had done. So I think that's probably why people associated me with that because of all my testimony in all the trials, being days up on the stand for each trial.
Is this the type of case you typically cover? Like what is a regular day for you?
Um, it's fairly quiet, to be honest with you. I mean, we stay busy in Rexburg. We get the
Right.
sex assaults, the rapes, burglaries, the drug cases, the child abuse, the child porn. I mean, we get all that stuff. We probably get maybe one or two homicides a year, which isn't bad at
Okay.
all. But
Yeah.
we've had
Yeah. Yeah.
two or three homicides since the Daybell case that we've been able to solve and take to court and get adjudicated. So I have an
Nice.
awesome detective team. I couldn't ask for better guys to work with. They're dedicated, they're loyal, they're detailed. I mean, everything you want in a detective, our division has, I think.
How big's the squad?
We
Like
have
the
7
detective squad?
detectives. 7.
Okay. I thought you said 70 at first. I'm like, oh my
Oh.
God. What's the population of Rexburg? Like in my mind, it's 4 people and some cows and possibly some potatoes.
Yeah, well, if you count the potatoes, there's maybe like, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40,000 people, maybe.
Okay, this is probably a dumb Idaho question. Are potatoes a big deal out there? I mean, I know they grow, like the bag of potatoes I get from the supermarket says they were grown in Idaho. Are potatoes like the rock star of that part of the world?
Kathy, potatoes, yes. Idaho's known for its potatoes. I mean,
Yes.
we see potatoes probably like this, like as big as your forearm potato, and they're called bakers. People make homemade French fries out of them. Super cool. My family, my in-laws, my wife and her family own hundreds of thousands of acres of potato fields. And so they're in the potato business. So yeah, potatoes are a thing. That's it.
You're potato rich? I had no idea you were potato rich. Ray
Yep,
is from
potato
potato
rich.
money, y'all. I did not know. He's from
Yeah,
big French fry country. Okay. Okay.
big French
I
fry country.
I never would have imagined. I mean, listen, I love a baked potato, God knows, but like, okay, I guess they have to come from somewhere.
And
They
I
don't
hardly
grow
eat
on,
potatoes.
well, obviously, clearly, no carbs, no sugar. I imagine you would just like a side
No,
of
no,
you take a bite out of it.
no. I eat sugar, cookies, chips. I eat everything. I mean, look at me. Come on. You can tell I eat.
I figured there was a lot of protein happening over there.
There's a lot of protein, but there's a lot of junk too. Trust me. Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, I am writing that down. You are going to be at CrimeCon. You're like a CrimeCon rock star now.
I'm going to be at the Crime Con. Yeah, it's my first one. Super anxious, but super excited. It's going to be a huge audience, like 3,500 people. So
Oh my
every
God.
seat is filled. Yeah. So I'm excited.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a good time. Yeah. Colby and I are going to go.
Listen, between you and Kobe, I'm surprised. It'll probably be like what do they have at the course? They have those little overflow rooms and things like that. Everyone will want to see you. Oh my God.
Yeah. Colby's a good dude. He's my brother. Love him to death. He's been through a lot. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited
for
to do that with
sure.
him and Nate Eaton. It's going to be a blast.
It's so crazy. Did you know Nate before this case?
Yeah, we had dealt with Nate just because he's a local journalist. He works for East
Yeah,
Idaho News, so he would cover different things. But yeah, I knew Nate a little bit, not as well as I do now, of course.
sure.
But yeah, we knew who
Sure.
he was, and he would come in and we would talk when we saw each other, but nothing like now.
I get that. What do you think what do you wish the public understood more about this case? Like what are some of the things, like clear anything up or things that you're like, oh, everybody thinks this thing, but it's really that thing.
Okay, so the biggest thing I hear is psychics. Okay,
We got
let's
to
talk
talk
about
about the psychics.
let's talk
You
about
know,
psychics.
I love the psychics. Now, please know, I do not believe in psychics, but I love a good. Oh, you got some tarot cards? I want to know all about it. So, what is your relationship with the Reverend Donna Serafina? Serafina Donna, one of those is her actual name. I'm never sure which way her name goes.
Okay, so I'll give you the scoop. You ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. Early on, we would get a call from a lot of psychics. It's
Right.
when we had the tip hotline set up and we would get tips from everybody. So we would get a psychic that called in and said, the kids are in a bunker. They're being held in Montana somewhere. Or I can see the kids. They're in a hole. They can't talk. They're hungry. They're tired. And so they would give us that. Or I could see the kids up in a mountain somewhere. Donna
Mm,
said what she said.
right.
So we really can't take those psychic tips seriously because we have to have foundation and facts and evidence
Right.
in order to follow up with things. Now, I'll say that the psychics had zero to do with us finding JJ and Tylee.
Mm.
It was evidence, it was warrants, it was hard detective work that led to the discovery of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, Donna had some pretty close-ish information that kind of matched up with how we found the kids. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of spooky. It was kind of weird. She was off on some things, but she was kind of accurate on some things too. But nothing
Right.
that she said we use because we can't use it in a court of law. And we can't
Right.
use it based to get warrants. And so we would listen to those tips and kind of just because we had to listen to everything. But we never used any of the information as part of the investigation.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. As a non-police person, a big mouth gossip on the internet, I'm living on every single word the psychics say. But if you showed up on the stand and you were like, I promise to tell the truth, Your Honor, this random psychic from the internet said X, Y, and Z, I would look at you like you were a crazy person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
You're
exactly
like,
what they would do. Yeah.
you're like, I got this warrant for probable cause because the local psychic told me a thing.
Yeah. I could just imagine Lori trying to cross me on something like that. She would probably have some questions for me then.
I'm sure she would. What did you think about her? I mean, she didn't cross-examine you at all, did she?
No.
Did you were in both cases or you were just in the one? I'm trying to remember.
I was in Brandon's where she was
Okay.
referring to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not one question. And I was ready. I was prepared. I was kind of anxious, excited, like, okay, she's gonna come at me.
Right.
Me and the team are the reason that she's sitting in that chair.
Mhm.
Now is her chance. And then when she said, "No questions, Your Honor," in her little breathy voice, I'm like, "Ooh." I was pissed because I was like, I'm ready.
Right, right. This is what you've been waiting for.
Exactly. So I was disappointed, but I think she did that on purpose. I think she knew everybody wanted her to question me, and she was just being
Yeah.
her defiant self. So she had no questions.
She's an obstinate child. I was so disappointed. I wanted to see her go head to head with Kay Woodcock because I knew Kay would have her for breakfast and I was
Yes.
living for it. And Kay did. And so when it came to you, maybe she learned her lesson in talking to Kay, like, maybe I wanna, back up. If you could ask her anything, what would you ask her?
I would ask her this, and I've thought about it, and that's a great question. I would ask her if you're so innocent and things happen the way you said they did, why didn't you call the police department? Why didn't you report your kids that had been killed? Why didn't you do this? Like, why did you flee to Hawaii? Why
Right,
haven't you talked to us at all? I would
right.
ask her a lot of questions. I would love to sit down with her if I knew I was going to get the truth, but I know
Hmm.
I'll never get the truth.
Yeah,
It's going to be
no.
her spin on things. I have no interest in talking to her or Chad. None.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, there's word on the street is that she wants to leave Arizona and get back to Idaho prisons. Are Idaho prisons particularly lovely? Why does she want to be back in Idaho so badly, if you know?
I think the prison is probably a little bit better living conditions in Maricopa County.
Hmm,
The IDOC, the Idaho Department of Corrections, she would be in the prison up here, and it is probably a little bit better. Probably not as hot. Probably less
uh,
crowded. Um, yeah, so I could see why she would probably want to come back up here. But if she wanted to come back here bad enough, why didn't she just plead guilty?
that's the thing that I don't
Yeah,
understand. It's like she's
yeah,
like, I want to go back. How soon can I get back? But then she requested a new trial because she said she was sick or whatever.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. Nothing she does makes sense to me either.
It's kind of wild. Like this whole case has been kind of wild. Have you sort of taken any life lessons from all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't go through something like this and not take life lessons. And if you go through something like this and you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice because
Yeah.
there's so much to learn from this. There's so many good people out there. You see the meaning of family and support. You see the meaning of friendships. You see the Lord's hand in kind of the new friendships and family members that you've gained along the way through this whole thing. You
Mm-hmm.
get to meet cool people like you. So yeah, I mean, there's a huge life lesson, and I think that it's just there's so many good people out there, way more good than bad, I think, and sometimes
For sure.
that gets jaded sometimes with what we
Yeah.
deal with. But
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That's really kind of beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
Wait, there's a bunch of questions on here that I starred. Let me see. Some of these I might have asked. Erica S asked, Ray, when did you find out about Charles? Oh, I think we did that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we did that one. Hang on, there were some more questions in here. You guys, there are so many starred posts. Not all of them are questions. Oh, I don't know if this was a rumor or if this was actually true. Somebody said at some point in court, Lori had winked at you.
So that is true. And it was in Fremont County. And it wasn't
Okay.
necessarily just at me. I mean, there were 3 or 4 detectives sitting there, but we were sitting there. It was right after she was taken off the death penalty. And she was
Mm,
walking in front of her. She had her hands shackled and the chains are dragging across the courtroom floor. And, she just looks over at us and gives us a wink and smirks because she thought that
oh,
she's off the death penalty now, like she won. And I thought,
right.
ooh, like it's game on now. We're gonna make sure we cross our T's, dot our I's. You are not getting away with anything at this point.
Right. Have you
So
ever
it
met
lit a
her?
fire under us, really. Yeah,
I'm sure.
absolutely.
Nobody wants to be taunted by clearly a sick, demented person who belongs under the jail. Have you ever had like a one-on-one conversation with her?
No, she would never talk to us. The only conversation I really had with her was when I served her, myself and Ron Ball served her with the indictment on the grand jury for murdering J. James Hiley. And when we went
Mm-hmm.
and served her, it was just us in the room. We gave her the stuff. She said maybe 2 or 3 words, was smiley and giggly, like, how she normally is. Like, this is absolutely means nothing to her.
Right.
That was the only time she really spoke to us. She refused every other time.
At one point there's police like body cam video of her being interviewed, I guess in her condo or in her townhouse in
Mhm.
Arizona. I'm guessing that wasn't you that was interviewing her, it was somebody else because she was like, my life is so dramatic, nobody understands, all of that sort of craziness. You weren't involved in that interview?
That was up here.
Okay.
And it was body cam footage of when I went to check for JJ and I ran
Ah,
into Alex. So I was at the prosecutor's office getting a warrant at that time, or attempting to get a
gotcha.
warrant, and then my lieutenant and another detective. That's who you saw in body cam.
Got you. In meeting any of these people, did you immediately think like, I mean, you said Alex seemed very scary, but did you ever get like mental illness, this level of like nutso, whatever, crazy?
Not initially, not until Ian Pulowski came in and gave his interview. And that's when he broke the
Oh,
zombies, the light, the dark. That's when we started hearing all that, and we're like, "What the hell? Who the shit would ever believe that BS?" Like, but then we realized
crazy.
there were people that believed it, which makes them
Yeah.
even more scarier because they're a little off the rocker to believe that stuff, right? So you don't know what they're capable of at that time when they believe that stuff.
Right. Did Ian come to you guys or did you guys go to him? Or how did that work?
He came to us because he was afraid for his kids and his ex-wife.
Right. Right. But it's like I have sort of been so deep down this rabbit hole. I feel like there's parts that I know so really, really well, and then things that I forget about. Wow. And what's your relationship, if any, like with Kay Woodcock, I love her so much.
I do too. Kay's awesome. I don't keep in contact with her a lot. I see her at the hearings, and we kind of hang out a little bit afterwards. We have our tight little group that kind of does stuff after.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I really don't keep in contact with Kay and Larry, but they are awesome people, super awesome people.
Yeah. Yeah, real, just like good salt of the earth people.
Yeah.
Listen, the fact that Kay would not take no for an answer when she could not get her grandbaby on the phone, I'm just like, go, Kay, go. It warmed my heart. Like, you're not gonna mess with a grandma.
Yeah, for sure.
She got
Yeah.
she got a heart full of love and readies to kick butts and take names, you know?
Especially a Southern grandma.
Oh yeah. She has no time for your mess. Not
Yep,
even a little bit.
exactly. Yeah.
So did you move to Rexburg to prepare for the second coming, or did you just happen to wind up there?
No, absolutely. I followed Chad's books and I moved here. Just kidding. No, he's no. I moved here when I was 15 or 15, I think. I'm from Los Angeles, and
Mhm.
my dad had a brother that lived up this way. It was kind of after the riots down there, and we came up here for a family vacation one summer. And then the next summer, he moved everybody up here to kind of get out of California. And I've been here most of the time ever since. I moved away to Green Bay, Wisconsin area for a while, but then came back.
What is in Green Bay?
So,
It just seems so random.
so I have family I was born in Chicago.
Okay.
So I have family in the Chicago area, Cicero. I have family in Wisconsin. I have family kind of
Gotcha.
all there in the Midwest, Minnesota. So that's why I was over there for a little while, and then I ended up coming back and getting hired on the police department.
Did you always want to be a police officer?
Always, like as far back as I can remember. And I've talked about
Really?
this a little bit. You remember the show Chips?
Yes, of course.
So I stayed home from school one time, probably several times, fake sick, right? So I could watch Bob Barker, Price is Right.
The Price is
And
Right. Yes.
exactly. And Chips. And I always was fascinated about when they would chase people or arrest people or help people. Like it was always
Mhm.
something I wanted to do ever since then. And so I stuck with it from the time I was probably 6 or 7. That's the only thing I wanted to do. And that's what I've done for the last 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
With 25 years of time in, you got to be buttoned up right against retirement. What are you gonna?
So close. I got about 4.5 years left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're still a young guy. What's the plan for after retirement?
You're going to laugh probably.
Probably not.
So I want to be an Uber driver.
Really?
Yeah.
Why an Uber driver?
Because I think I don't want any public service stuff. I want to close this chapter. I got a lot of things, history and things to deal with that you don't want to think about again.
Yeah.
But Uber driving, it's you can set your own schedule. You
Yeah.
get to talk to all sorts of cool, interesting people.
Interesting.
It's kind of just a low key job. Like you just drive people, you talk, and you're getting paid to do it. I mean, my wife laughs at me, but yeah, that's what I want to do. Just something like that. Maybe manage a gym or something simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's so cool. You got all that big potato money to fall back on, so I'm not worried about you. I'm like, you're gonna have to come and live in my basement or something. I was
Hey, I
scared
may
for a
take you up
minute.
on that. There you go.
My husband said no to the brother husbands thing. I
Oh,
asked
well,
again right before this interview, and he was
you
not
got
having it.
you have 4 years to convince him until I retire.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have to stay on.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Fingers crossed. 4 years. Now listen, we're winding up time here, and I know that everybody wants to see your amazing secret weapon, your beautiful, beautiful wife. Is she around?
Let me see if she is. Christy.
She ran like her ass was on fire. Like, I'm getting out of here. This
Oh,
crazy
no, here
lady.
she comes. Here she comes. You guys ready?
Yes, we're ready. We're ready.
This This is my secret weapon.
Hey.
There she is.
Hi.
Y'all, could you die? She's gorgeous. Oh
Look at
my
you
God.
there.
Hey, Christy.
Hi,
How
how
you
are you?
doing?
Good.
I'm good. Welcome to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo.
Thank you.
You guys could be like the poster couple for something. I don't know. Potatoes. Why don't they have your faces on the potato bags instead of just those potatoes?
Well, I don't know.
Everybody's saying, hey, wow, she's beautiful. Oh my God, what a lovely couple. So
Oh,
lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she's awesome.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I didn't want this time to go by without all the people saying that, yes, Ray has a wife. Yes, we call him Zaddy and objectify him, but there's somebody over there keeping him in line and keeping everything in order.
I don't know if you call it keep it in line.
That's a full-time job over here.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
So can we
Well,
sing happy birthday to you though?
Not we.
Yeah.
You.
No, let's sing to it. Ready? Is everybody ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kathy. Happy birthday to you.
You're making me blush. Oh my God. I'm sweating so hard right now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so, so super sweet. Listen, I've taken up so much of your time. Is there anything else that you want all the good people to know about you?
I don't think so. I wish everybody would keep watching your videos and supporting you. You guys support Kathy. She is awesome, lovely person inside and
Oh
out.
my God.
Yeah, keep going. You have a huge talent with making people laugh and smile. So yeah,
Yes.
keep going with that.
Oh my gosh. That's so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna snip that and use it from all my commercials. Like, it's official. The Rexburg Police Department and the most gorgeous couple in all of Northern Idaho says that you must watch Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo every morning that I feel like making videos. Because not
Yes.
every day do I feel like making videos, and I'm a little bit moody.
Well, we
You
both
guys are
subscribe, so keep going.
Yes.
when somebody told me that you had subscribed, and I was like, get out of here. There's no way. So
Yes,
crazy.
absolutely. You do well. You do good.
Oh my, it's so embarrassing. Okay, look, it's hard to make me speechless, and I think y'all have me speechless over here. Oh, I'm about to burst into flames. Wait, there are 18 starred posts that I did not get to. Okay, wait. Let's see what they say. From Mrs. Parks, who's in the house. Look, if you see those flowers right there, that's a gorgeous bouquet sent to me by Mrs. Parks, who's always in the house. She knows my home address. So if I go missing, y'all know Mrs. Parks can find me. She says, Lieutenant Zaddy, Lieutenant Hermosillo, all of us GRI gossips adore you. Thank you for your service and for your hard work on this case. That's
Awesome.
so
Mr. Parks,
lovely.
thank you so much. We appreciate all the support, honestly. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm so just like my heart is full to be able to connect with and tell a really wonderful and positive police service, a police story of community service and giving back. And honestly, both of you embody that because I know the whole family sacrifices when you go to work and deal with hard stuff. And then you come home and Christy is like, okay, take out the garbage, but also I hope your day was good.
Yeah.
Here's your
No,
whiskey, baby.
she's a good support system for sure.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So Big Dog 5758 says, hate to do this, but replay it. Wait, look, reading is fundamental. Hate to do it, but replay in the wild Idaho, real Arizona, can't spell the rest. Arizona is real. Okay, I didn't say it wasn't. I just said I can't pronounce it or remember it. But yes, I know Arizona is real. Okay. Oh, they're easier to read if I do them over here. Okay, good to know. Okay, unstar that one. You'd think I was new at this. Thank you so much, Kelly Dittmer, for this super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. Kathy says, happy birthday to our amazing Kathy. Welcome, Zaddy Hermosillo. Love, love to both of you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
nice. Thank you, Kathy. Other Kathy. Tanika's 2 cents. Have you heard of Tanika's 2 cents? She has a YouTube channel as well. She's
I
awesome.
don't think so. I'll have to check it out.
She's amazing. She covers a lot of Sarah Boone and other wacky cases. She does like actual facts and stuff. Me
Okay.
and facts, I'm like, she reads. I
You
can't
like
be
to
bothered with
read.
all of that.
Yeah.
It's overrated. Tanika's 2 cents says, yes, happy birthday, Kathy. What a present to all of us. Also, I will point out that my thumbnails for this live were made by Tanika's 2 cents because
Oh, very good.
I suck at making thumbnails. Gloria says, happy birthday, Kathy. Thank you so much. Lynette Porter, happy birthday, Gossip Queen. Thanks for bringing us okay, I got to read it over here where it's big. Happy birthday, Gossip Queen. Thanks for bringing us the zaddy of it all. Well, I am happy to join you in objectifying this fine detective. Wait, Lieutenant, Sergeant, what are you now?
I'm lieutenant now. Yeah.
Okay, a lieutenant is higher than a sergeant or I don't know what order these things go in.
Yeah. So a lieutenant is higher than a sergeant.
Okay. Wait, a lieutenant is higher than a sergeant. You moving on up. So you're gonna like finish at the top? Were you gonna be police chief someday?
No. No. I just don't want that responsibility. You know. I love what
I
I'm
hear
doing
you.
now with the detective stuff.
So awesome though. The fact that you do so much to help the community, it just means everything. Wait, I asked that question. Um, wait. Kathy can't get right says, Ray, was it hard watching Colby's live of your of your testimony? Was it
Um,
hard watching Colby follow your
you know,
testimony?
I've dealt with it for 5.5 years, and so I
Yeah.
know kind of how to cope with it. It's hard always
Yeah.
hearing the facts of it and listening to how we found JJ and Tylee. But I
Yeah.
think it was harder for me to watch Colby's reaction and for him to
Yeah.
hear it the first time. I felt bad for him more than I did myself. So yeah, I hope, I know he wanted to listen, but I hope he made the right choice, and I think he did. It's for him. I hope he's doing good.
Yeah. Yeah. With all of these things, like, like I said before, my whole thing is that for people who want to engage in true crime, but are like, yeah, I don't need all that therapy, right? I want to create a way for you to sort of know what's happening, and be up on whatever the latest whatever thing is without, going and crying in your pillow at night. Because I know when I'm having a bad day, I want to go to comedy, I want to go to light, I want to go to silly. But I also want to know what's going on in the world,
Right, 100%.
Do you follow true crime at all?
I don't. My
Really?
wife does a little bit now,
Mhm.
but when I just when you deal with it, the true crime, I think that's enough for my soul. I don't want to
Yeah.
watch it. Maybe when I retire and I don't have to deal with it firsthand, maybe I will, because it is
Yeah.
interesting. There are some interesting cases, kind of how they get solved and the stories behind them and the
Right.
justice for the victim. So I can see the draw to it. I just don't know if I want to involve myself with that right now. Yeah.
Makes sense. I think the most important thing anybody can do is take good care of themselves, their
Right.
physical body, their mental health, or whatever it is. So like if Kobe can't watch the trial or whatever, that's self-care. That's what self-care looks like on any given day. And I think it's important. Oh, wait. Well, this is a rude question, but I do want to know myself. How old is our Zaddy Hermosillo?
How
If you
old do
care
you
to answer.
How old do you think?
I would say, based on the fact that you have grown kids, I think that
Don't
puts you
forget
in
this.
your
Don't forget this. Gray.
oh, okay, 45?
Close. I'm 46. I'll be 47 in a few months.
Okay. I'm really,
Very
really
good.
good at this.
You
I'm
are good at
so
this
good at
game.
this.
Absolutely. Good for you.
Gossip and guessing ages. Okay. Okay.
You
Well,
got those
listen,
hidden
everybody,
talents. You got those hidden talents.
being fully ridiculous at the drop of a hat, that is my true calling.
That
That's
is a
my
talent.
calling.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, thank you so much for coming to visit us here at Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. I don't know what we would do without you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed everybody's questions. I enjoyed my time with you, Kathy. You're awesome. Please continue to do what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to be back if you'd have me for some other reason.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
absolutely. I had a blast. You are awesome.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You will be our special law enforcement correspondent. We will
There
have you
you
back.
go.
Colby J. Ryan with the super
Oh,
chat,
Colby's
super
in the
sticker.
house. That's my boy right
Hey,
there.
Colby.
Colby's my guy. That's awesome. Hey, Colby.
We love Colby. We're big Colby fans around here. And those cute little
Absolutely.
babies in his cheeks.
He has the cutest little family.
Yeah, yeah. Sending him all the prayers and good wishes in the world. Oh my goodness.
That's my
All right.
dude.
Well, I know you are going to dinner with your wife, and it is my birthday. There's a cake over there that we're going to go eat. Thank you to everybody. Hang on for 1 second, Ray. Let me just play this outro.
Okay.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around. Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heffa, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. The world is filled with chaos muppets that like people to kick the bucket from Idaho, Iowa, and everywhere in between. Heffa, please, boncation in the first degree. Heffa, please, come solve the case with me. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Yeah.
Come here, not Spike. Come here, bye, not Spike.